Yeah. Uh-huh. You know those welfare benefits that Heidi was receiving? Yes. Hmm. Because of the fraud of the issuance of the dissolution of marriage? Yes. Hmm. And the fraud of issuing a protection order in 2011? Yeah. And the fraud of having me arrested for the accusation of contacting her through Healthy Families of Clallam County. Hmm. I want you to remove your fraud. I've told you that thousands of times. Yes. If for some reason you thought that I'd just go away, I'd let you keep my sons. Yes. And then I'd allow you to not obligate Marilyn to talk to me about what she wants to consent to. Yes. Because you're so important. Your family's so important. Yes. And Mike Van Proyen is so important. Now, when contacting Health and Human Services of the United States federal government, yes, could you get me all the employees of the HHS for the last 40 years? Oh, Kathleen Sabellis. Ooh, look, there's an attractive woman. Now, I'm going to want to know every attorney. Yes. That's going to represent the United States federal government. Yes. In a large $100 billion lawsuit. Yes. Where I'm going to sue that department that is a cabinet position in the White House for any knowledge of any state issuing a decree of dissolution of marriage, yes, that gives custody of my sons to my wife right now, where you allowed for the fraud of not admitting in the court record, yes, the stipulation and order of the Guamanian Organic Act. And then you allowed for me to not be served so I could not appeal the decision. And then you were going to tell me that I didn't know where the. I'd like to know every employee of Health and Human Services. Oh, for the last 40 years. Their GPS locations. Okay. Email addresses. Oh. Now, my thought is that welfare is liable for any sort of welfare fraud. Right now. Or Heidi decided to move to Clallam County and you issued a protection order while I was in the custody of Guam, as was my wife and children. Oh, oh, oh. Now let's see if I can't sue right now. You are not going to continue the fraud of enforcing fraudulent court orders. I have asked you to remove all the felony from the courts. Yes. The fraud from the courts. Yes. And any and all conspiratorial ways of violating the laws of the United States. Now, I'm going to have to sue, yes, Health and Human Services, which that is the department of the United States federal government, all right, that does regulate the monies that are received by those in the Department of Social and Health Services. So I'd like you to get me each and every employee of the DSHS, yes, in every state of the United States of America.